people, this is Zippy and welcome to my classroom. Today I will be telling you 10 things I wish I knew before becoming a teacher. Yes, before making this lifelong commitment. And please like, share, comment, and thank you so much for those who are engaging with me in the comment section. I'm really happy that you had the time to do that, and for even watching this video, thank you so much. If you know anyone who's a teacher, recommend this video to them, or anyone who's dreaming of becoming a teacher, please recommend this video to them. I'll be giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, so first thing, I didn't know that I would have to use tech so much. You know, when you're in school, you just see your teachers coming with the textbook and they just write on the board, and you know, the most you would ever do is go outside. If you're maybe in a language class, they would have a radio. That was the most tech that you were ever going to use. But yeah, that's not the case anymore. So there's just so much tech that you need to be familiar with if you're going to become a teacher. I really wish I knew so much. Honestly, I really know about using Google Docs. I didn't know about using Google Classroom and all these many other apps and tools that I have been talking about. If you have not watched those videos, please pause this and then go and look for the two videos I'm talking about, where I'm talking to you about teaching and presentation tools and also using AI tools. So yeah, as a teacher, especially in today's world, you must use technology. Oh my gosh, so from just sending reports, grades to parents, even just a simple thing as an email, that is all technology that teachers use every single time. So I was not expecting that. Second of all, I would say students can be both good and bad. I know you think it's a no-brainer, but we have two extremes of students and just people in general. So especially if you're used to certain schools where the children are always very polite, very respectful, very hardworking, and I think that's the fallacy we have in our education system locally, because in high school you have the county schools, you have sub-county schools, you have national schools, so you tend to have students who are of the same, I would say, ability. Okay, yeah, it may not translate to attitude and behavior, but ability wise you're good. But then if you go to a different kind of school where it's mixed, so there wow, some students can be really good. You just enjoy, make your life easy, but the students, oh my gosh. Well, yeah, and you've seen cases even in the news of some very nasty things some students have done, to each other, to just nasty things. So yeah, I don't know why I was living in a bubble. I just thought, everything will be just hunky-dory and life will just move on and I'll just enjoy throughout. But at times you want to really pull out your hair. So yeah, that's another thing. Honestly, I wish I knew. I don't know, I didn't know that. Something else that is really amazing that I wish I knew before becoming a teacher, because many teachers or rather people who studied education, teaching, training, don't want to become teachers because they think they will lose out on their passions. So one thing I wish I knew earlier is that you can still combine your passions with teaching. I know that's the most amazing thing, because a teacher wears so many hats. If you are the kind of teacher who loves to guide and counsel students, because guiding and counseling was your thing, and you still combine it with teaching, good. If you love sports, I mean, schools have very many sports facilities. Whichever sport that you wanted to play, you have that. Very many schools these days have gyms. So if you're really into fitness, you can still combine that passion with teaching. You can start a club about that. Whether it's acting, dancing, like I really, really loved to dance. So when I began teaching, I just found so many students who love to dance, and I offered that as an activity after school. And it was so much fun. Like I was able to combine this passion. Another thing would be organizing. If you love organizing events, schools have graduations, prize giving days. You can still combine. You can be a teacher, but you're still organizing this. If you're new, you just go and offer yourself and just say, this is something I love, and I would love to be part of the committee, or I'd love to do this and that for you. Teachers are able to combine their passions, with their teaching. And I'm sure if you look back, you can see that you might have had your biology teacher being the one leading the school choir to music festivals. I mean, so you are able to combine a lot, and it makes you feel happy. You loved writing, so you're the one writing for the school newsletter. You loved photography, so you're taking photos for the school magazine. You can literally do anything and everything when you're a teacher. For instance, I love meeting new people, and as a teacher, I have met so many amazing people, just experts in their field, celebrities, just amazing people that I might never even have gotten the chance to meet. So yeah, that's a positive thing, very positive. Another thing, I was not expecting this honestly before becoming a teacher, but I didn't know that some parents, not all parents, but some parents can stress you a lot, like to a point where you just ask yourself like, wow, am I in the right profession? Like, and as a parent myself, I understand, because we get very antsy when our children are in school. We have really no control over them when they're there. And so some parents can really stress you. The smallest thing could be, your child has lost a sweater, so you're frustrated with your child, but you take it out also on the teacher. A child does not have a textbook because they lost it, I don't know when, and you really take it out on the teacher. So you've had, you meet parents who take out so much of their frustrations on you, and it just spoils your day, it stresses you completely. Sometimes, yes, the teacher could be on the wrong, sometimes maybe not, but just that, it's one thing I did not know, but maybe because I was, used to a school where teachers are everything. When the teacher says this, everybody says yes, 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 madam, yes, and then you go somewhere else where, woo, things are totally different. So yeah, that's one thing I really wish I knew. Then I would have maybe prepared myself on, negotiation skills, and like how to engage people, just communicate better, because parents don't want to wait until the end of the term to know that their child has not been doing homework. Why didn't you tell them earlier? Another thing I wish I knew was that as a teacher, you have to be flexible and adaptable. It's not easy, especially if you are a planner like me. So being flexible, sometimes you go into class and you read the mood of the students. They are tired, or it's that lesson after lunch. They just really don't feel like learning, and you have to change your methodology all of a sudden, just to suit them and make them a bit upbeat, I would say. Sometimes you find the content you're teaching is just a bit too heavy, and you need it maybe to break it down into smaller chunks for the students to understand better, and so you just have to change your entire lesson plan that day and go back to the drawing board. So as a teacher, you really you really have to be flexible and adaptable. It can't be, okay, I'm the teacher, this is how it is, I do not care what you're going through, blah blah blah. We have to do, no, sometimes you have to stop your lesson. You realize a student looks sad, all of a sudden they've started crying, you don't understand why. They need that attention at that moment, and you have to take, some time out. So learn to do this as early as possible. Another thing I wish I knew, and hey, this might have, this is probably at the top, is the amount of work you do outside class. Wow, I know some people say, I want to be a teacher, you get long holidays, or school ends at 3:30, 4, you're free to go home at that time. People, you have no idea the amount of work that teachers do outside class, because you have, let's say your lessons begin at 8. For other teachers, you have maybe even morning preps as early as 6:30 or 7, and you go all the way till that 4. Some have still remedials after that, and that's the time you're teaching. Here and there you might have a free lesson, 1, 2, but most of the time, if you're like me, you end up having maybe only 1 or maximum 2 free lessons, but on many occasions you have a full timetable. So what happens here when you have a full timetable? That means the extra work, the marking, the planning of your lessons, the making your classroom boards, the report writing, the research, there's just a lot of work that you have to do that you can't do during the day. So you either come into school very early in the morning, or you leave very late for you to catch up with those things. And it's even worse if you are, let's say, a head of department, or you have just these extra responsibilities that you still have to take care of. So there's just a lot of work. Teachers require space to plan themselves, plan their work, because we want to make lessons enjoyable and prepare ourselves better. Have time to mark books. The students complain that some teachers never mark any books. Like maybe if you were in school, you had that kind of teacher. Could be honestly that they were swamped, okay? Or also maybe they just didn't know how to organize themselves. But yeah, nowadays teachers are really, really working, and they have no time at all, just for their own lives. So because of all the things I have told you, it's just so much work, and so you end up eating into your weekend with all the work that you have. So you're always carrying work home, and there's just a lot of work. So if you think that teachers over the holidays are just sleeping around doing nothing at all, just going to the beach, sunbathing, they deserve it. Imagine they do. So please pay teachers better. Another thing I wish I knew was the importance of continuous learning. And you've heard a lot about teacher professional development. Teachers, keep getting trained all the time, because we have so many new trends that are coming up. Like all these tech tools I keep telling you about, there's just so many new things. And for the academics and also now behavioral issues. So the youth are going through a lot, and if you've checked out the video on anxiety and depression, you'll just see there's a lot. And one of the hats that a teacher has to wear is not only of talking to students, but you really need the tools, you need the training to know how would you approach a certain issue. If you meet a student who, let's say, suicidal, what are the steps to take, how is the safeguarding procedure, if it's a certain topic that you like to teach that is totally new, what do you do? And this is where the whole point of collaboration comes in. You have to work hand in hand with your colleagues, because there's something, teacher X knows that you don't know. Teacher Y understands better, they know how to execute it better than you. And so we keep learning from each other. So not just attending workshops and conferences, but also just learning from each other and you say charity begins at home. So before you start going to benchmark at another school and listen, invite this teacher from this other school, start with the teachers in your school. How much have you learned from them? Get to pick something from each, because you don't say, the young teachers can't help me much. The young teachers know a lot, or the old teachers, those ones are too old, they can't help. Trust me, every single person brings something to the table that you can learn from. Another thing I wish I knew, and I think I've sort of mentioned it, is the emotional demands of being a teacher. Being a teacher is really emotionally draining, many times, and if you are an empathetic person like I am, you tend to absorb people's problems. And so when a student has come and they've told you something that is really sad, traumatizing, and you from punishing some students, that it drains you emotionally. Your teacher really loves punishing students. It takes a lot from you. You're busy up and down. You have had this. You need to do your appraisal. You have not met these deadlines. It's very demanding. And that brings me to now the next thing I wish I knew is the need for self-care. Teachers, we really have to take good care of ourselves. And you see, teachers when schools close, they want to take themselves and their families somewhere, want to buy themselves something nice. Imagine, it's okay, it's worth it. Take care of yourself. And this goes out to everyone. We give a lot of ourselves out to our jobs, our families, and then we are left so burnt out, so drained. You become so moody, so angry all the time, because we don't take good care of ourselves. So if you need to, meet friends and have a laugh, you need to just find ways to cope with that, stress that you're going through. Like we mentioned in another episode, please do that, because our jobs are emotionally demanding. You have to fill up your cup, and that's why you see and people tell me, especially when you open school, you're so happy, you're upbeat, you're always happy and just bubbly and all those things. And then week 4 comes, week 5, 6 of the term, and the energy just goes down. And that's why you need a holiday. Just come back, and when midterm comes, then you rest a bit, you're back to work, the energy is up here, and then you start sleeping before you close school. So yeah, it's important to take care of yourself. Last but not least, this is what makes most of us teachers stay teaching. Just you live as a teacher forever until you retire. Is what I wish I knew is that teaching is so enjoyable and so addictive. I mean, every single day is different from the next. You might enjoy, a lesson you love with students, enjoy, the next lesson they might annoy you, but it's still, it's what makes our profession exciting. It can be very, very addictive, because you see how you transform someone's life. You see maybe their grades keep going up, or their behavior has improved. Just something that makes your work worthwhile, and you remind yourself, this is why I became a teacher. This is why I chose this profession, because it's so enjoyable. It's a drug. Honestly, it's addictive. Once you become a teacher, it's really hard to move out into a different career. In as much as there are all these many challenges, the benefits are much, much bigger, and you make an impact on someone's life, and they'll never forget what you do, even if they forget. But yourself that a lot has gone into it, and whether the pay is good, or bad, you will always just appreciate yourself. And they say there's no one who will be punished more than a teacher. When our last day on this earth comes, because we have been given a huge responsibility to take care of children. And so if we don't do our jobs right, then yeah, judgment day is coming. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the video. These honestly are things I wish any person and every person could know before they decide that teaching is for them, because it's not always easy, but now there are these perks and you need to weigh this and find a balance. But yeah, please do not forget to subscribe. Honestly, I am so grateful to everyone subscribed. Continue to tell a friend, and yeah, see you next time.